I mean, it was really just a full breakdown, everything that you need to learn, basically the A to Z.
From where to start, exactly what to do, how to do it, all the systems and programs.
The resources and things that were given throughout the training was just phenomenal.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. You'll notice that today's episode is a little later. I wanted to change things around a bit because I wanted today's guest to be available. If this is your first time, welcome. Basically, the way this works is we call your leads live, okay? You go to riatoolbox.com. You're going to click submit your leads to be called live. This is not pre-recorded. I have all kinds of different guests on here. You'll see the good, the bad, the ugly, doesn't matter, but pay attention, write notes, because every guest I bring on here, I see something in them that you guys can learn from. So without further ado, we got Mr. TTP.
Let's go, Steven. Let's bring some energy here on this Friday. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about this. I got my list right here of leads that we're going to call. It's bananas. I'm excited. So we're going to have a lot of fun.
So tell me a little bit more about yourself. For those that maybe this is their first time hearing about you, how did you get into this? What's your background? What is TTP? What is that all about?
Love it. I'm going to give a real quick recap because I want to get into the meat of what a lead is and what I'm looking for and what I train, not only my team, but my, over 2,000 students around the country on how to find the best deals and to close actual deals. And there's something really important. We'll get into that on what an actual lead is, and so that you can actually get these deals done and that you're not pulling your hair out all the time. But I read Rich Dad Poor Dad in 2003. That took my young, mushy brain and kind of put it into a direction, because I don't know if anybody in the audience has ever felt this way, but when I was young, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I knew that I didn't want somebody telling me what to do. So I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I just didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what being a business person meant. I didn't know anything about real estate, but after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, it put me on this path. The issue with Rich Dad Poor Dad is it's education. It's not instruction. Right? Rich Dad Poor Dad's like, okay, let me break your brain, but then it doesn't say, doesn't show you, okay, here's how you go and find deals. Right? So I thought you had to get a real estate license. So I did that while I was in college, graduated college, and became a realtor, like a real estate agent. Pretty basic, just trying to learn the verbiage, learn the industry, learn how a transaction worked. And, that's 2004, Steven. This is pre-YouTube. This is pre-podcast. This is pre-Deal Desk Season 2, Episode 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was nothing like that on here. So I just was kind of learning and trying to network and figure it out. And took a long time, got really stuck, made a bunch of money as an agent. So that was really tough to really transition into to being an investor. Made a ton of stupid mistakes financially, bought the 5 houses, big houses, bought the Mercedes, bought the Range Rover, got all that stuff. And then 2009 happened. The economic world collapsed, got both cars repoed, got all the houses gone, gave back all the credit cards. Steven, my credit score was so bad, bro, that I couldn't open a checking account at Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, or Bank of America. I had to go online. I had to send in $300 for some credit. It was backed by your money to open up a checking account. Like, that's how bad it was. right? And this is 2010. This isn't, this is 12 years ago. So then I had to fight and claw and scratch. I had big judgments against me, financial judgments against me for an office space that I couldn't pay for anymore. And so I just started going out there, and I was like, okay, I know that investors are looking for ugly houses. There's always a market for ugly houses. They always want ugly houses, and they go and renovate it, and that's how they make their profit. I'm going to go find those. And so I started door knocking, and I built a crew of 5 other people. We door knocked 15,000 houses. We knock on the door, kind of stand away from the door, so that you're not just standing there at the door, right? You stand away, and then you try to have a conversation with people. And I knocked on a door at the end of this street. It was on 42nd Place here in Arcadia in Phoenix. And the gal said, you know what, I don't want to sell my house. I love my house, but here is, let me go inside. I'm the caretaker of an 80-year-old woman that lives in New York. She owns a house 4 houses down. It's vacant now. I know she wants to sell. Let me see if I can get permission to give you her name and phone number. So she came out with a slip of paper, gave me the name and phone number. I called her, and that was my first deal. And I realized if you have a name, address, phone number for ugly houses, it equals big checks. Yeah. Right. So we have a saying, ugly houses, big checks. And so that started it all, Stephen. That was like, that lit the spark, and then it's just been rolling and rolling and rolling. And then fortunately, my brokerage at the time had a relationship with a company called LexisNexis, and they were a skip tracing service. And before skip tracing was available to the public like it is now, you had to jump through a lot of hoops to be able to skip trace addresses. And so I had a huge advantage. And so I was calling and just fish in a barrel, bro, just boom, 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 like getting it. And then I got introduced to Tom Kroll through the podcast Wholesaling Inc. And I was like, you ever listen to something, Steven, and you're like, I need to meet that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need to.
I need to be around that person.
When you first start.
And I was like, that person needs to be on like my personal board of directors. So I joined his coaching program, right? Joined his coaching program, put a lot of time and effort into the group, helping a lot of people that were just getting started. And I taught people how to pick up the phone and call distressed property owners to get deals. And that's where TTP stands for. It's a philosophy. It means it stands for talk to people. Like this whole business comes down to talking to people. So why wouldn't we increase our skills and our ability and our experience and our endurance and our confidence with talking to people, right? So that's what I've been teaching and doing, and that kind of catches us up to now. And I haven't done lead follow-up in 3 years. I mean, I'm excited to do it here and just see what people are going, what things are going on right now with these leads, and make sure that I pre-qualify them and see if they actually want to sell.
Man, that's an amazing story, because I think a lot of people that kind of hit rock bottom have such a hard time getting out of the hole, and you kind of like lost everything. You got everything back because you retained the knowledge. Now, there's a few things I want to unpack in there, because a lot of people, when they're first starting in this business, they're trying to figure out where they need to start, what they need to do.
Sure.
Is it necessary, in your opinion, to get a real estate license? If so, what are the pros and cons to get started? Do you need a license, right? Will it help you out? Is it beneficial?
I love that, Stephen. It comes down to this. Have you made the decision without a doubt to be a real estate entrepreneur? Like, that's the first thing that it starts with. Have you actually made that decision? You just kind of tasting a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. You're tasting this, you're tasting that business, you're tasting some of these other things. Is it, I think I want to do this because I want to make money? Or is it, I want to do this because I know that if you look at every industry, it's moving, it's changing, it's industrial, and then it's technology, and now it's, the metaverse, and it's all these other things, all over the place. What stays the same? Real estate. There's a constant there, right? And there's only certain like small, if you look at our country, you could look at the whole world, but specifically our country, and look at how tiny the amount of land is that we actually live on as humans. Like there's only going to be more humans, which means there's more demand, which means that the value of real estate goes up over time. Right. So have you made that decision to throw yourself into something that has so much security and so much track record as real estate? If you have, I would highly suggest that you get your license. One, but and I'm not saying to be a real estate agent. I'm saying that you can make a lot more money. The doors to getting referrals from real estate agents are open a lot faster. And you get access to the MLS, which helps you to have the absolute best information. So you have the best information, you have the best contacts, and you're able to use your license to refer business. If you don't want to ever list somebody's house or drive somebody around as a buyer, you can refer them to other people and make 30-35% of that deal for doing nothing, for passing it over. If you don't have a license, you can't get paid legally. I mean, people work things out, right? But legally you can't. So if you got audited, it would be a problem if you didn't have a license. Not that you would, not that people do. I don't want to be a fear monger, but if you did, if you had a license or had somebody on your team that has a license, it is a huge advantage.
That's a great answer. A lot of people give different kind of answers to that. I love your response. How do you feel about, because what I see nowadays, right, it's different. I mean, when you first started than where we are now, right, there's so many people getting into this. They may make one phone call. They try to maybe sell a course. And, there's a lot of great education out there, but there's also a lot of, bad education out there. And what I'm noticing now, and I'm sure a lot of other people are starting to realize that sooner or later, this business is going to be a lot more regulated. What's your take on that? What does the future look like? And once it starts getting regulated, how should people kind of pivot and what to expect?
I wish I could share a map with you that I have, because if you look at it, there's 2 states that you need a license to be a wholesaler out of 48, right? There's some that are talking about it and discussing it. There's some cities that have weird little guidelines involved there. I think in the next 5-10 years, it's probably smart for the real estate industry to have some sort of code of ethics. That's the only reason. So just for everybody that has never been a real estate agent or gotten their license and going through that whole process, basically all they teach you some stuff about real estate, but it's mostly about the ethics, mostly about how you have a fiduciary duty, which is a weird word. I don't even know technically what it means. If you were to like point a gun at me and say, give me the definition of fiduciary, it'd be like the best interest of your client, right? Yeah, there's less bad actors when you have a license because there is scrutiny and there's somebody making sure that the ethics are high, right? Yeah. And I think having high ethics as a real estate investor should already be in us. So why would it affect us? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a bad thing, but if it does get more regulated, great, fantastic. It takes out that bottom 20% that are just doing it wrong and just trying to make a buck and just trying to keep their head above water. And by the way, I don't fault them. I don't know what their situation is. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're just hustling or they're just learning their thing or they're just, whatever, they come from a bad circumstance where this is a normal operating procedure. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to like bash on anybody, but if it gets rid of them because there's a higher ethical standard, that's good for everybody. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm not scared of any of that.
I think it's not only great for homeowners, right? But it also, like you said, will take out the bottom 20% and do more ethical business. So before we hopped on here, you kind of told me about your business is all in-person appointments. You have a pretty healthy average deal size. Talk a little bit more about that, how your business is structured right now.
It's beautiful. So Phoenix is a unique market. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. We average $72,000 a deal. And you're going to see why once we get going on these calls. Okay. If this is the only thing that you take from me, and it resonates. This is probably the biggest thing that changed me from trying to close people that aren't ready to close, aren't even close to close, because this is a different type of deal, right? This is something that, you know, they're not just getting closed, money's in and it's done in 24 hours. This is a 30-45 day process, right? So we are deal finders, we're not deal creators. Okay. And I think that this is very, very, very important. We're deal finders, not deal creators. And it's not about convincing the people. It's about shortening the timeline. That's the best sales skills that you can do in our business, is shorten the timeline for them to make a decision. But the decision has to be in their brain already. I'm telling you, if you want to know what a lead is, a real estate lead, it is somebody that wants to sign an agreement at some point. They've made that decision. I'm telling you. If you go and you're like, you know what? Oh, you don't want to sell right now, or you're not getting their timeline, or you're throwing out prices and they're like, I'm thinking about it, or, you know, I got to think about it. I got to talk to my wife. I got to do all that. It's the timeline. There has to be a timeline. Timeline is so critical. So, Steven, whenever I'm talking to a property owner, I'm trying to figure out 4 things: condition of the property, timeline to sell that property, their motivation to sell that property, or what's their problem, and the price. That's what I'm looking for. I get those 4 things, I know that I've got a solid lead, right? But they have to want to sell, and there has to be a timeline. Because if I start throwing out prices and they have no interest in signing an agreement right now, what are we doing? I've watched your shows. The people that are ready to go, they already have. They're like, okay, if I get this price, I'm selling this property. Okay, great. We'll send you the contract. You know what I mean? Like, it's that old thing, like, sell me this pen, right? Off of the whole Wolf of Wall Street.
You got to be in the market to buy one.
They got to be in the market to buy a pen. You can't sell a pen to somebody that is a color pencil, artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they got to be in the market, and it's the same thing with real estate. And I think it's really important as we think about discounted properties, and you can use this on the phone with sellers, is basically, if you've ever bought a car at a car dealership, which most of us have, and you've turned in your old car and the trade-in value that you get, you know you're not getting Kelley Blue Book, right? You know you're not getting Kelley Blue Book because the property doesn't have new tires, it's not detailed, it's not beautiful, it's not pristine. Even if it was, they wouldn't give you Kelley Blue Book, right? They're going to let you trade that in for 2 reasons: speed and convenience. It's the same thing with property. Speed and convenience. People will trade potential equity in their house for speed and convenience. So our job as investors, our job as the people that are sourcing the greatest deals in the marketplace, is to sift through all the people that truly don't want to sell, truly don't want to trade speed and convenience, and finding the people that want to sell and they want speed and convenience. That's how you get $72,000 deals.
I love that. You're not trying to squeeze a deal out of somebody that's just not interested. You can't.
Well, and there's a couple of things, right? I think that there's really 3 options if you have a real estate license. Even if you don't have a real estate license, you have 3 options on every single lead that you've ever talked to. Okay, when they want to sell, remember, want to sell, you've got your cash as is, right? Cash as is, you've got your creative financing, and then you've got your referral to a real estate agent. So if they want, I'm always going to say, do you want speed and convenience? Are you looking to sell this quick, or are you looking to take your time? Okay. And what price, and getting all that. And if they want close to retail, I can say, listen, I can give you that. I absolutely can give you that, but I got to do it in payments. Are you willing to take it in payments? Well, what does that look like? What I do, and what I would tell anybody to do, is look at Zillow, look at the rental estimate on Zillow, okay, and go 60% of that is what you can pay in monthly payments, and then just figure it out. Now, remember, whenever it comes to creative finance, it's just 3 things typically. It's your down payment, it's your monthly payment, and it's the term. So that's all you have to talk to a property owner about if you want to switch that up for a creative deal. And then the other one is, you know what? I think your house is beautiful. Do you have a great real estate agent that you trust, or would you like a great referral? And then I get 30% of that. Right.
Just like
and
that.
If you don't have your license, now you're giving referrals to a great agent in your marketplace that now is going to give you MLS access, help you sell your deals. If you want to do flips, they're going to help you comp the properties, all these things. Right. So there's really 3 on all of them. When I look at when you look at the conversations, I kind of look at a graph with a line going here and a line going through it. And one is price. Price is on this side. Low price here, high price here, right? And then you've got the condition of the property. Really nice condition or terrible, like tear down, right? And there's 4 quadrants, and each quadrant has different techniques that you can use to get income from those deals. And we can talk about that once we make some calls.
You got this down to a science. Where can people learn more about your process? Do you offer any kind of mentorship programs, courses?
I do.
Seminars?
Yeah, I do. I mean, what I would highly suggest is anybody that's interested in a coach, date your coach a little bit. You know what I mean? See what they're really about, see what their life's about, see what their energy and enthusiasm for this business is about. And that usually starts at my YouTube channel, Stephen. So just Brent Daniels on YouTube, Brent Daniels Real Estate. There's another Brent Daniels who's like a music composer, but not that guy. And we have the best, most incredible audience, and we go live answering questions 5 hours a week.
Is it the wholesale hotline, right?
What's that?
You're talking about the wholesale hotline?
I do wholesale hotline with Pace, Morby, and Jamil DMG on Mondays. On Wednesdays, I have a live open show for 2 hours where I just pontificate and give instruction and just go bananas. And then Thursday, I have a show called Millionaire Before 30, where my co-host, Ryan Zolan, who's 24, millionaire, and we bring on other young gun millionaires to interview them. It's phenomenal. Just an incredible amount of value. And then also, a lot of people are getting a lot of value, Stephen, out of the Wholesale Hotline podcast as well. Yeah. And that puts out stuff 7 days a week. So between YouTube and the podcast, that should let you date me. And if it feels good in your gut,
virtually date Brent is what he's saying.
Yeah, that's it. There's a million ways to find me once you get into the content, and reach out if you want.
It's good content.
If you want to work with us one-on-one.
I've taken a peek at it. It's really good stuff, and I highly encourage everybody, all the viewers here, to make sure you check out his stuff. All right. So, are you ready to make some calls?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Perfect. So
before I do, guys, I love this business. This business has changed more lives than anything in my world and anything that I've seen. It's really interesting. We talked on Wednesday's show about the 7 gifts in Genesis that God gave Adam. Not to get religious. I'm not like wildly religious, but I think it's really an interesting thing. The first gift was life, right? Was creation. Second gift was a mind to have to dominate over the beasts and to be smart, right? To be able to understand things. The third was God's presence. And the fourth was work. God said, cultivate this garden, right? The fourth thing given by God is work. What is your purpose? What is your why? What is your why? All this stuff. Yes, it's your family. Of course, but get out of here. It's because you're supposed to work, because work is fulfillment, because you get fulfilled by being in service to other people. And if you're in real estate, and you're talking to these distressed property owners that are so stressed out about this property, and they're sticking their head in their sand, and they're really worried about this, and it's dragging them down. It's constantly creating anxiety, and you relieve that anxiety from the people. And by the way, statistically, 6 to 10% of the real estate market is in distress at all times. We're not focused on the 90, 94%. And we'll probably talk to some of those here, and I'll transition it. But the 6 to 10% that are truly in distress, that's who we're talking to. That's who we serve. And that's why we make so much money, because it's a hugely valuable service to our community.
Love it.
Boom.
Amen to that, man.
Amen to that. So, guys, the way that I'm going to do it, I've got this Excel thing. I'm going to call. My cousin's calling me right now. I'm going to call on speakerphone and just try to talk to as many people as I can, and just see what's going on. I've got some great notes here. Let me ask you this, Stephen. Are people calling on the ones that say it's in excellent condition?
Yeah, we're calling all of them. So all these leads have been submitted, but guys, keep in mind we're not cold calling. So you have had to at least speak with this lead. We get a variety of them. The ones with the check boxes are the ones that are being called. So we're going to start with Ronald, and then once you call him, I'll check that off and work our way down the list.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So this first one's in Birmingham, Alabama. It looks like it's just a piece of land. I'll share the screen. It has a house on there, but this is probably before it got taken down, I guess.
Hello?
Hi, Ronald.
Hello?
Hi, is this Ronald?
Yes, it is.
Hi, this is Brent Daniels. You've been talking to my my partner about your property there on Avenue G in Birmingham.
I don't remember, but go ahead.
Yeah, is it a piece of land there?
It's a lot, yes.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, I was just calling. I wanted to see he had said that you were selling that property, and I just wanted to see if the timeline was right to get you an offer.
Okay.
So are you ready? Are you ready to sell?
I'm always ready to sell for the right price.
Gotcha. Okay. What are you looking for that piece of land there?
I'm looking for about $9,000 on it.
Okay, 9,000. Got it. And is it? I'm just looking at some notes here. It says it's about 1,500 square feet. Is that right?
Yeah, it's 50 by 150.
Okay, got it. And do you know what can be built on it?
Well, that was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. When I bought it, the city had, knocked it down and cleared the land, because it's been abandoned. So I bought it as a lot.
Okay.
So there was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house on it.
And now it's just the empty lot.
Yes.
Okay, got it. And were you going to build on it? What were you planning on doing with it?
Well, I was thinking about that, or selling it, but I've actually just, from Alabama to Florida. So realistically, I'm probably not going to build on it. So that's why I'm, because I'm also a real estate broker too. So
Fantastic.
I'm going to be back in town probably the next week or two, which, I'll probably end up just listing it,
Yeah, I mean that's going to give you the best. That's going to get you the most exposure, the best price, because 10,000 feels a little heavy just because of what the properties in that area are selling for. Typically, we try to be around 20%, under 20% of what a brand new house over there would be built for. Do you know that area well? Do you know what a brand new house would be built for? How much that would go for?
A brand new house, it would probably be, I'd say 180 to 2 and a quarter. There's a couple of average after humanity houses that was built, maybe about 7-8 years ago, maybe.
Got it. And so if you got 9,000, you're good. Just clean 9,000. No.
I'm good because I think it's assessed at like, I don't know, 12 to 15,000 or something. Because I was gonna list it for like 15,
Right.
But if I got that,
If I
that was to leave a little meat on the bone for somebody else. You know what I mean?
Sure. If I could get around, and I don't know. I got to dig into this a little bit better, a little bit more. But at 5,000, would that work? Could we get there?
No, that wouldn't work.
What's the best we can do on it?
About 7,500.
7,500. Okay. Let me write that down. I gotta just look, and obviously with land, you got to do a little bit more due diligence and just see what's going on with the utility connections and everything.
Yeah, do that. Let me know.
Okay, great. Is this the best number to reach you? Is there a better time?
Yeah, this is a good number.
Okay, perfect. And then I've got your email here, your Gmail. So I'll put something together and see if we can make something work.
All right. Are you in Alabama or are you out of state?
No, I'm in Phoenix, but I do a lot of business in Alabama, in and around Alabama. Yep. So I've got a really solid network out there.
Okay.
So awesome.
What's your name again?
My name is Brent Daniels.
Brent Daniels? Okay.
Yep.
Good deal, Brent.
All right, Ronald. I appreciate it. I'll be in touch.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Bye. What are properties selling for there, Steven? I can't hear you, buddy.
Saying it's not that much. They're pretty low in this area. I don't even know if there's any new construction in this area.
Can you pull up, because I think this is a great, really important coaching point here. Can you pull up the can you pull up like the neighborhood, like a Zillow or a Redfin on that neighborhood, like an aerial view?
Yeah. Let me
because I get a lot of questions, Steven, about land, right? And I told him what I would tell you. I was actually telling the audience more than I was telling him, that you want to be about 20% of what a brand new house was going for. But I also wanted to get an idea of what he thought houses went for there. Do we know what he bought it for, Steven?
Let me pull this up here.
Should be on Zillow or Redfin or something.
Let's see.
We got him down 1,500, which is pretty good. I just threw out 5 just to see where he was at. But do you see how he split the middle? See how he was at 9, I was at 5. He came in the middle, right?
He went lower, and it's not like he even twisted his arm.
So he bought it for $1,000 in 2013.
Yeah, $1,000.
He bought it for $1,000 in 2013, right? So what's the highest comp in that neighborhood?
Man, I see stuff in the 20s. I see a 50. And then actually on the other side, this might be a type of 465, but I see 51, 21, 34.
Can you put it on the screen?
Yeah, let me see if I could pull this up without disclosing the address for whoever submitted this lead. Because I'm on Zillow right now.
Did you guys, so as you're pulling that up, I just want to speak to the audience. If you'll notice there and pick that apart and look at the filters, the time, the condition, timeline, motivation, price, we got all of them. We got all of them, baby, right? Condition was it's a vacant lot. There was a house on it. It got pulled out, and there's just a vacant lot there now, right? His timeline is he's coming in a month, and he's going to put it on the market. His motivation is he was going to build something, but he's in Florida, doesn't want to go into Alabama, and or Georgia. Where was he from? He was in Florida? No, I know, but he was in Florida. Anyway, and then So he's not going to build on it, just wants to get rid of on it. He's been paying taxes on it for 10 years. And then his price, we got him down to 7,500. So guys, that's what you're looking at. Condition, timeline, motivation, price, condition, timeline. And you will notice here, guys, I will confirm and approve everything that they say. I am not going to argue. I'm not going to go negative. I'm going to confirm and approve everything so that I don't build friction in the conversation.
And you made him feel comfortable. You know, we didn't pressure him or anything like that. Here, I think I could share this at least. Let me see. So this is what the sold properties numbers I've sold in the past year without putting the address out there. It's in this area here.
Yeah. What's like the average?
Man, I probably like, this is all over the place. You got 50, you got 110 here, 135. This one is the highest sold one right here, 135.
Click on it. Is it brand new? It looks new. Maybe not. Yeah.
Well, it looks. When was this built? 2007.
Okay.
It's the newest one there.
And that just sold?
Awesome. Yep. Just 2721 for 135.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for the next one?
Let's move on. We're calling in Jackson, Mississippi. Is it MS is Mississippi, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
I put the numbers there in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, I got it.
Let's see if I can pull this up here. This one has a big lot.
Oh, you got the max allowable in?
Yeah. Number 89 right there.
Max allowable is that 187?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. All right. Let's do this.
Look at that beauty. Put the phone a little closer to the mic. There it is. Yeah. Perfect.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
You want me to leave message or no?
Nah.
Nah.
Nah, that's all right.
All right. Terry Clayton or Terry is next. He is in Nashville. This guy wants significantly more than this max allowable offer, so it should be interesting. And this one says it's in fair condition. So if we can pull that up, we'll take a look. 615.
It doesn't look like it's in good shape.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
Come on, Terry. Isn't that that funny video, Terry, where he lights off the fireworks and he's he's like running around. Come on, Terry, what you doing? That is the best. I love that.
Wait,
Okay,
this guy
next.
didn't need any work. No, he wants 350. Let me just show you real quick what he's talking about here.
He says it's in fair condition.
Nah, the window and the door's boarded up. Come on, Terry.
Come on, Terry.
Terry, what is this? This is in fair condition?
Oh, that's great.
It might be.
So real quick, going back to that lot in Birmingham, whoever's deal that is, I would just have them, really sharpen their pencil, just really see what that's about. There might be a play to lock that up at 7,500 and sell it to the next door neighbor for like 10,000, if it makes sense. It might not be that type of neighborhood where they have that potential, but what I like doing with vacant lots is I like skip tracing the one that's next to it on either side, whatever's bordering it, and the one behind. And I'll call them and say, hey, listen, I'm going to do something with this lot, whether build it or sell it to a builder or or just keep it there for a little while. Do you want to buy it and have a bigger lot and decide what you want to do so that, we're not fighting over what I build on here? Or do you just want me to build something, So that's the conversation I have with the neighbors just to see if they want to buy that deal.
Actually, a really good piece of advice. Hopefully you guys write that down because it's not always builders or that buy land.
No, the neighbors. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. This is excellent condition. Do I have a MAO on Lonnie?
I'm going to get it right now. Let me pull this up real quick. This house actually looks like it's in good shape. This actually has no Zestimate on here.
Okay.
Something out. Let's see if they pick up the phone. I'll share the screen image and then I'll run some numbers. Brent, you should hire me as a part-time producer. What do you think?
There you go. I love it.
You think I'll be bananas?
You're always bananas, Steven. Look at this beauty.
Oh,
Hi, is this Lonnie?
yes.
Hi, Lonnie. This is Brent Daniels. You've been talking to my partner about your property there on 6th Street.
Yes.
Yeah. I just wanted to touch base and chat with you a little bit about that. I wanted to see if the timeline was right to get you an offer.
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. I've got a little bit of notes on here, but if you don't mind, it says that it needs flooring and repainting. Can you talk to me about that?
Yes. I had a family living in there, and they were not clean people.
Sure.
So what I did was I just ripped all the flooring out of the whole house
Okay.
because it stunk so bad.
Yep.
And then it's been empty for 2 years, kind of what I call fumigating.
Yeah.
Structurally, it's 100% sound.
Awesome. Okay. What about? No, sorry. Go ahead.
It has all good double insulated windows. Everything is good and solid in the whole home. It just needs new flooring and just needs to be repainted.
And what about the kitchens and bathrooms? Have those been remodeled or those updated?
One bathroom is 100% remodeled, and the other one is semi-remodeled. They're both very usable.
Okay.
The kitchen cabinets are all solid oak cabinets. Very good shape. No issues. It has built-in solid oak dressers in the master bedroom.
Yep.
It's about 2,200 square feet, 2-story home. It sits on 2 lots.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a 20 by 40 workshop.
Okay. Awesome. And
the workshop is in awesome shape.
the workshop's in great shape. Okay, great.
Absolutely great.
What about just mechanically, roof and the plumbing and
the roof is
heating?
Less than 3 years old. It has 2 central heat and air units, one for upstairs, one for downstairs. They both work great. They're about 6 to 7 years old. They're both RUD units with a scroll compressor. Excellent shape.
Mm-hmm.
Zero issues there. Plumbing has all been updated. Electric has all been updated.
Amazing. Are you looking to sell this thing quick? Or are you looking to take some time?
If you brought the right amount of money, I would let you be a proud owner this afternoon.
I love it. What's the right price?
I could not take a penny less than $65,000.
65,000. Okay, got it.
That's correct. Yeah.
And are you just looking around the neighborhood?
Yeah.
Got it. So that's basically kind of what you see online on Zillow or something.
A little negotiable.
Yeah.
If it come to less than that, I'd have to take a bullwhip and beat you half to death, and then we could talk again.
Well, good thing that I'm a big guy. I could take it.
All right, very good.
No, I'm just looking around at what some of the neighbors are selling for. And I've got really kind of a couple different options, but for a cash as is, where we come in, we just buy it and no inspections. We just buy it and do all the repairs. It looks like your neighbors are closer to like 15,000 in similar condition. Are you seeing that?
Well, when I had this house reappraised,
yeah,
about 5 years ago,
the whole house,
and before I put the tenants in it, I had in it, it appraised for $138,000. Got it.
Okay. Has there been, I'm just looking online right now as we're talking, Lonnie, and I'm just seeing, some of these other properties that are selling. It's just your neighbors that are kind of dragging down the value of what we could sell for once it's fixed up.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you this. If I can get you our cash price would be more around like 15 to 20,000, but would you be open to taking payments on it?
What kind of payments would you be talking?
So what I typically do, Lonnie, is I look at what I can get for rent and I give you about 60% of that because, as a landlord, 40% comes off the top for, renovations, repairs, updating, vacancy, all that. So I give you about 60% of what you get in rent, depending on how much repairs need to go into the house would depend on how much the down payment would be. But I could probably get you something decent. We'd have to see the property just to see how much money we'd have to put into those floors. Because let's be honest, that's not a small house. You know what I mean? That's not a small house. So we would put a down payment, give you about 60% of what we could get for rent, do it on either a 5 or 10 year, and then have a balloon payment at the end of it for the rest. Is that something that could be interesting?
I might consider it if you would be up for all taxes.
Oh, of course.
Payment on the house.
Oh, there is a payment. Okay.
Yeah, there is a payment on the home.
Okay.
And
what is it?
That's where I took a second loan. I refinanced my original loan on the home.
Yep.
And I owe close to $50,000 on the home right now.
Okay, got it. What do you know roughly, kind of, with everything in there, with the principal, interest, taxes, insurance, what the payment is?
It's close to $500 a month.
What were you getting in rent?
I was charging just $500 a month. I was basically breaking even.
I understand why you want to sell it, right? Because and then they beat up your house, and you have to put money into it, right?
Right. And see, it took me forever to get the people out of the house.
Sure.
And I went 2 years without a rent payment.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Oh, 2 years during the whole. Oh my gosh, Lonnie. So you were making that payment and you weren't getting any income coming in.
Correct.
Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. I'm sorry you went through that.
Yes.
Yeah, that is tough. All right, well, let me do this. Let me see if the numbers work. You got a $500 payment. You owe $50,000 on it. Let me put together something creative and see if that makes sense. Is it open? Would you be open to us taking over the loan? Is that a possibility?
If you could take over the loan, I would be tickled to death with that. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that opens up the opportunities as well. So let me sharpen my.
And therefore, you have the guarantee that you could take over the loan. And when I say that, when I said 65, I mean this house. I have it on the historic district.
Right.
It is a very. When I used to live there myself for a long time. And I mean, it was a show place.
Lonnie, I'm looking at it online right now. It's gorgeous. I mean, the outside. I don't know what the inside looks like, but I love the architecture.
Like I said, it needs all new flooring and painted, and then it could be gorgeous again.
Yeah, fantastic. And you got a double lot.
Yes, it has 2 full lots and a 20 by 40 workshop that is in immaculate shape.
I love it. So it just doesn't have any floors.
Well, no, it has the wooden floors in it. It just needs new flooring put on top.
Got it. Is there any way to salvage those floors, or are they beyond?
No. I've already burnt and disposed of all. Now I do have. Now in here, and I would be willing to make a deal on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm in the construction business, okay?
Okay.
And I do a lot of reclaiming and a lot of recycling.
Sure.
And, if someone would be willing to put the effort in it, I have about 1,200 square feet of hardwood flooring that basically just needs to be sanded and re-put back down. I would let go with the house.
Comes with the house.
Yeah, I would let that come with the house. So that takes a lot of the cost out of flooring to put. That is hardwood flooring is very old, so that makes it even more expensive.
Sure.
Because you can't buy that anymore.
Sure.
So the hardwood flooring is probably around 60 to 70 years old.
Oh,
and
got it.
Immaculate shape.
Yep.
It just needs to be, re-nailed down and then sanded and refinished.
I have a strong feeling we can do business, Lonnie. I really do. I need to talk to my partner on this. He's more of the creative side. I'm more of the cash, get it done side, right? But with you owing 50 on this, that's obviously not going to work. But I think that we can make something work here and really put something together. Yeah, I like this. Yep.
Now, if you would totally assume and take over the loan,
yep,
and then make me some type of cash option, then like I say, I have approximate now. Give or take 100 square foot, about 1,200 square feet of very good hardwood flooring that I would let go with the house.
How thick are those planks?
3/4 inch solid oak hardwood flooring.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
It's not the laminated stuff.
I know.
Original.
Yeah. No,
it's stuff that you pay $6-7 a square foot for now.
I know it. What are you? You being in the construction business, what is that costing to put that down? $2, $3 a foot?
Typically, you can get it done around here for $1.50, $2 a square foot.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, perfect. Well, good, Lonnie. Again, my name is Brent Daniels. We're gonna reach back out to you. I'm gonna put something together. Let me make sure that I have your email. Do you work with email? Is it the your G?
Yeah. What do you have?
Got
like in Lee.
LJ Home. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Awesome, Lonnie. Well, I really appreciate it. This is I think we can put something together here. I think it's right in our wheelhouse. All right, we'll talk soon.
Okay. All right, bye.
See you, Lonnie.
Hey, what a good way to. That was a strong final call. Can you kind of walk us through that a little bit? We have a few questions, guys. Drop any questions you may have right now, because we're gonna do
We got to
Q&A.
do this every week, Steven.
But that was great. That was great. The guy was sounding comfortable with you. He, at first the cash offer didn't really make sense, but then you brought up the creative financing, and people love to see that transition. At what point did you know that this guy may have been a creative financing deal? And how do you approach people like that?
Whenever you're really far away on price, and whenever they have a lot of pride in the house, and whenever it's like in this lower price range, oftentimes, they own it free and clear. Now, this one, obviously he owes 50 on, but this could be a great sub 2 for somebody. This could be something that, they cover his payments and, get the property fixed up a little bit and get higher rents. Does it say what the estimate is for rent? Does it have the rent estimate? It usually says like rent estimate, or go to, what's that other one? Rentometer. Rentometer is the other one. You can put it in there and kind of get an idea. But that's a pretty big house for only charging $500 a month. I don't know the area. I don't know. That's a crazy town. Yeah. I mean, it's a big house, but it's, can you give me a satellite view of that, Steven?
Yeah. Let me pull this up here.
So one thing, as Steven's pulling that, guys, listen, active listening is everything. They will open up it with two things: your tone of voice and your with active listening. Sure. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, oak. Oh my gosh. I love that. Yep. Oh, fantastic. Oh, great. New roof. Wow. That's great. Oh, it is a gorgeous house, Lonnie. Wow. It could be gorgeous again. All of that stuff. I want to confirm and approve everything that he's saying. I don't want to cause friction in the conversation. Can you just zoom that out just a bit? Because it's Caruthersville. I have no idea where that's at. I don't know if it's super rural or if it's, no, I mean, it looks like it's a community.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever has that lead, go lock that thing up. You're going to have a free house, I think. I really do. I bet you could walk into this thing and maybe give him like a couple thousand. He's at 65. You got him at 50. You take over the loan and you go in there and say, listen, I love the wood and do this, but, let's, I can only give you a little bit. He wants to get rid of that house.
Yeah, he's definitely motivated.
He's done with that house.
See, that's an ideal seller, right?
That's what I'm talking about. We're deal finders, not deal creators. Like, I'm not convincing that guy of anything. I'm giving him options and seeing where he's at. If he has no equity, then you have to go creative, right? If there's no equity, then you have to go creative, or you got to refer it to an agent to sell it.
Love it. You ready for a few questions before we wrap up? All right. So
always.
For my thumb, is doing sub 2 or seller finance possible to be done virtually? Do I need to get a tenant in there to make a payment to owner? Do I just need to sell the deal in terms to a cash buyer?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can do anything from this, right? I mean, you've got the master of the phone sitting here, right here, Steven Morales, right? So, I mean, Steven, what do you think? Do you think that you could pull all this together on the phone and digitally?
Yeah.
Or listen, if you have, this is something that we use all the time with older property owners. Send a mobile notary to their house. Literally go online and go mobile notary wherever. And if it's real rural, it might cost you $150. If it's close, it might cost you $50. They go out there professionally and they get the thing signed, and then they get it back to you if they don't understand the computer. Or I need to have my daughter come over to open up, what's it called, honey? A browser. My browser. I have to open up my browser. I don't know where my email is in my browser. So yeah, it's absolutely Hatham. Absolutely, you can. Getting a tenant in there will help, but you could probably start pre-marketing it as it's in escrow. And but obviously you got to get some floors in there, or get a tenant that wants to put floors in there themselves for a reduction in rent.
All right. Next question by Nathan. Hey, Brent, thanks for the nuggets. What is the biggest objection you are currently getting, and how are you overcoming it?
I have 7 offers. That's and by the way, it's not so much That's wrong. That's not an objection. That's a condition, right? There's a difference between conditions and objections. An objection is just a question in the mind of the seller that hasn't been answered. So most of the time it's just process based. Most of the time they're kind of stiff arming. Most of the time they're like, well, let me think about it, or let me take some time, or let me talk to somebody. And we say, of course, we completely understand. I want you to be 100% confident in moving forward. But let me ask you, what's your feelings? What do you think your wife's going to say? Yes. Okay. Have you ever made any decisions that, without her, but that she's probably on board? Yeah. Okay. Well, do you think that we could put together something upon your wife's approval? I'll send it to you now, or if we're meeting, you sign it. And I'll tell you what, I'll leave the contract with you tonight. You sign it. I'll leave it with you tonight. And then I'm going to be here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. If she decides you don't want to sell, or the terms or whatever, then I want you to call me and rip up that contract. All right. But there is something magical when somebody puts pen to paper. You know what I mean? Like, they sign that contract with you, and you could either take it or leave it with them, whatever it is. You take it with you. You call me and I'll tear it up. I'll tear it up on the phone. I'll tear it up on a FaceTime call with you. I'll tear it up if your wife says she doesn't want it. If not, that's even better way. I'm going to take the contract, and then I'm going to put it into escrow tomorrow. And you tell me if you want to cancel.
Beautiful. Couple more questions. How is credit financing working with the inflated ARV comps right now, or is it more specific to what the seller owes?
It's all based on, by the way, you did a fantastic job. I watched
Ron was on yesterday. Or not
I watched it. I watched it. Fantastic. I love it. I would love if she smiled more, though. I'm telling you, I tell you, she's gangster and she's smooth and it's beautiful, but I think she would get like 15% more deals if she smiled.
Even if it's through the phone, Sharon.
Yeah, you could feel it. I mean, she did. When she did smile, you could feel it. How is creative financing working with the inflated ARV comps right now? Or is it more specific? Remember, whenever we're negotiating, we negotiate based on two things: price or terms. So it really doesn't. Listen, I will give somebody $1 million for a house that's worth $10,000 if I can pay him $1 a month for eternity, right? That's terms. Like, we get to, that's the beautiful thing about real estate. We just got to make it up. We just got to make it up. We got to make up whatever we want, whatever price and terms and whatever else. If it doesn't make sense, then you move on. See, we need to, I wish I had the visual. I wish I had a trash can. The trash can is one of your best things when it comes to your lead follow-up, because I am telling you, bad leads will hide the best leads. Seriously. Bad leads will hide the best leads. And so if you're constantly getting around people that aren't ever going to do business with you, it's going to affect your bottom line by at least 50%. Get rid of people that are assholes. Get rid of people that don't want to sell, right? With one caveat to that, one thing: if the property is destroyed, keep that person in your CRM forever. I'm telling you, because they will have to sell to a cash buyer at some point, or they're going to have to sink a bunch of money into it. And 99.9% of the time, they don't have the funds to put into it.
All right. Last two questions.
Awesome. Is it about my haircut? Because I think it's looking pretty good. I mean, come on.
It looks bananas.
Come on. It is bananas.
Hey, by the way, Nigel, this was his lead he submitted. So congrats. Look. He's going bananas right now.
Get him, Nigel.
Probably smiling, right, Sharon?
That is, Sharon. Nigel, lock that thing up. I mean, you can get that. Just make sure that you're not putting too much down for him to be. He'll come real close to 50. He'll come real close to breaking even on this thing. He's done with it.
All right.
How many hours should we call sellers daily for someone trying to create a business? So, Mark, here's the data. All right. If you are calling, not hiring somebody to call it off the bat, and listen, I want you guys to be business owners. I want you guys to be CEOs, and all CEOs do is pick great talent to run their business and play golf and chill and doing awesome. Right. So I want you to do that, but you have to become that person. And that involves work. Work involves becoming, right? And so get on there, make as many calls as you can. And the average is 200 people that you talk to that are in distress should equal one deal. All right. Now, if you're using a dialer, you should be talking to about 10 to 15, but let's just say 10 people an hour. Okay. 10 people an hour. And so it takes about 20 hours of calls to get a deal. And that just depends. It's market by market, but that's about right. And as long as you're doing your lead follow-up and you're doing everything else to make sure that you're in front of those and you're pre-qualifying and you're not sticking around and wasting your time with people that will never do business with you. Ephraim, you did?
No.
Yes, you sold that land. I am telling you, I have been telling Ephraim to get on property, get on houses. He kept doing land. I was like, houses. Yeah.
This is for you, buddy. Ring. Hey.
Yes.
Love it. Congrats.
I love it.
All
Good
right,
energy on this.
last
Good
question
energy.
here. If a house was taken down by the city and the city is asking for payment from the seller, can you still wholesale the land?
It just depends on what the city wants. You know, if it's taken down, so the city's like, hey, listen, it just costs us money to bulldoze this. You got to give it to us, or we're going to put a lien on your property. For that property to transfer to a new buyer, that lien has to be paid off.
Yeah.
All right. Now it can be negotiated, but when it's fixed costs, like those are costs that they're not inflating that. That's what it costs them to actually hire people to do all this stuff and get it done. It's very, very, very unlikely you're going to negotiate that. Don't waste your time. Make sure that your price, that the land is worth way more than what that lien is for them to clean it off. Most of the time, if they cleaned off the land, it's probably in neighborhoods where the prices are really low, might not be worth it at all. And the city should just take back the land. Anyway. Yep.
Dude, thank you so much for hopping on here. That was an amazing call. Hopefully everybody learned something. Thank you so much. Talk to people, Mr. GTP, Brent Daniels, everybody. Until next time.
Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Steven. You're the best.
Take care.